Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today, Lady Ashcombe. It's a great honor. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Could you tell us about your first encounter with Sudelev Castle?
Oh, that was a long time ago. But I first came here when I was invited to England. I was a student in New York and at a design school, and I was invited to come after Christmas by Mark Brocklehurst, whose family owned Sudeley and the estate here. But he was really just a good friend then, and I came over. And of course, we came on a very spooky night in January, and there was a big moon outside the castle, and all the castellations and everything, and it was freezing cold. And walking passages and passages to the room I was to stay in, and it was pretty alarming to start with. That's all I can say. It wasn't modernized. That all came later in the over 50, 60 years that I've been here. But that was my first impression. And when it was decided by Mark's mother that Mark and I were to come and live here, and that's when we decided, well, if the only way we can do that is open it to the public because of the overheads. I thought, my God, do I have to live in that scary sort of cold, inconvenient, you know. But anyway, now I'm here and it's been wonderful.
Could you kindly share the history of Sudelev Castle?
Well, that's a long story.
Yeah, I think so.
The history of Sudelev Castle is one of the longest of any of historic monuments in England, of the Sudeley as an estate and the development of the castle over the years. And it's started 1,000 years ago, and it's most famous, you know, and known for its royal connections. It was owned by the crown, you know, and the kings, I mean, Henry VII lived here, owned it, and then later Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn visited here. And it was the beginning of the dissolution of the monasteries, which is a big event in England. And then, of course, Catherine Parr married the owner of it and lived here, and is actually buried here in our church in the garden, which is unusual. She's the only Queen of England that's buried in a private house. So that's what we're well known for. But lots of other history has certainly happened. Certainly the Civil War, which devastated Sudeley, and it was in ruins, and nobody lived here at all, and it was just a historic sort of picturesque site where lots of artists came to paint it in its ruins for 180 years. And that's before when this family, Mark's family, acquired it and started the years of restoration. And the collections that are here.
When you opened the castle to the public in 1970, what were your initial thought and hopes?
When we were asked by Mark's mother, it said it was our turn, or Mark's turn, to come and look after the castle, because he'd actually inherited it when he was 17 from his father, who died in 1949. So, you know, he knew he was going to come eventually, but we didn't think it was going to be quite then. And so we had to decide if we were willing to take it on. And Mark decided that we would only be willing to take it on if we were to open it to the public. And he consulted several other houses and owners that he knew about, and we went to visit them and to see what was involved in opening it to the public. And you know, it was quite a big, this was just somebody's home before. And so it took us 2 years in preparation to get it ready to open the doors to the public. And Mark said, let's give it 3 years and we'll see if it works. And then really tragically, Mark died within those 3 years. And this is 60 some years later, and it worked.
What were some of the biggest challenges for public offering?
Well, what we learned and what we needed to do was first of all make it interesting for visitors to visit the house and the gardens. And the next thing we learned was very important, that for the visitors they needed lavatories, food, canteen, guidebook, parking lot, guides, and also, to display the history exhibition, which it wasn't like that before. So it was quite a big undertaking. And we had some advisors, really, who've done this before to help us organize it and get it in the right place and everything. And over the years, it's changed around a lot, though. Sudley's had one wall knocked down, another built, and we've modernized it over the years.
Is there a particular part of the castle you recommend?
Because I think it's the whole history, and the castle, the exhibitions, the interiors, and the gardens tell the whole story. So it's everything.
Everything. I think so.
And it's a history lesson, and it's a way, a family live here, and it's a family home, and then it's historic gardens, and it's also throughout that I've tried to create things that tell the history in a relaxed way to make it interesting for families and children, and so it's a little bit of everything, really.
For all of the generations.
That's right,
Okay, thank you. Having lived at Sudelev Castle for over 50 years, what is the most memorable moment for you?
Well, it's been my family home where my children have grown, been raised. I think the family moments here are the most memorable. And, the marriages of my children. I was married here, so I can remember that. And, we've had many memorable occasions. My family memories are the most important, really. And it was fun for my children to grow up in this atmosphere. They've enjoyed it. Is the Tudor succession, which is a historic painting, which is very well known in this country. And it depicts. It was really a piece of Elizabethan, Queen Elizabeth I, propaganda to show why it was important that Christianity, the Church of England, stayed in control of the country, as opposed to the Catholicism taking control. And it's all done in you'd have to look at the picture to really understand it, but I mean, the good people, the Protestants, so to speak, are standing on the carpet, which represents the Church of England, and the Catholics don't have their feet on the carpet, and they have the god of war behind them, and the Protestants have the goddess of peace behind them. And so the message is, if we change to Protestantism, that was at the time, that was kind of, might have gone to Mary I, which was Henry VIII's daughter, or to Elizabeth I, which was a daughter. It was like political propaganda like there is today. It was trying to convince people that this was the right thing to do. But it's quite it's a very well-known painting. It's in lots of history books, and it's kind of a bit of our sort of superstar painting here.
Can I see that painting?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Really?
yes.
Is that okay?
Oh no, you must see that.
How are many antiques take care of? It's hard to keep this kind of antique to keep. How many people engage this to keep the antiques?
Well, we have a team in responsible for conservation of
really?
everything, and they're trained by the National Trust team to learn how to move furniture, how to polish, that, which is really important. Otherwise, but sometimes we get it wrong, and some of the furniture gets or something gets damaged. But that's one of the responsibilities of taking on something like this is to, and you have to be very careful that sunlight doesn't fade pictures or fabrics. We have someone here who knows a lot more about that than I do, so that's good.
There are many specialists.
That's right.
Engaged.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. About the gardens. The gardens at the Sudelev Castle are truly beautiful. What guiding principles and philosophies are important to you in the registration? Also, how many gardeners are involved in maintaining the grounds?
That's a very good question, really, because when my mother-in-law was here, she had 7 gardeners doing the same job that we have now 4 gardeners doing, and so it's huge responsibility because it's a historic garden, and some of the garden is listed. We have to keep it up. We're legally obliged to keep it up, and that's part of the historic garden, which is laid out on the Tudor parterre when Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn were here, and Catherine Parr. And so we have 4 gardeners now.
Just a 4 gardeners?
Yeah. And our challenge is to try to simplify it a little bit, but that's not very easy, and particularly when the weather does something that we're not expecting, like this heat wave we've recently had. But that's one of the most difficult challenges I find.
Over the years, how has your sense of responsibility to protect Sudelev Castle?
Well, of course, over the years, when I first came here, I didn't know anything about it much, except it was a big, cold, old house. And over the 40 years or 50 years, I've grown to know almost everything about it. It's my life, really. I've learned everything in every corner of it, and so it's very important to me as a historic monument. I don't want it to be turned into a hotel or a old folks' home or anything else. What it seems like it's an important monument in England. It happens to be on the old Roman road. That's my dream for it in the future. To stay, I want to keep the story, the history alive.
What's the best season to see the garden?
Oh, well, the best season in England to see gardens is June and July. It depends on the garden. That some specialize in different parts of the country. There's slightly different climates, but our gardens are really best when the roses.
Roses.
Yes, and that's June and July. And, some come back out in September, October as well. But we try to plan that there's a spring garden and a late spring garden and a summer's in an autumn garden. We have to, we have to entertain people all the time with a little.
Are there any upcoming event at the Sudelev Castle?
We do something in the winter. It's called the Spectacle of Light. And it starts in November and goes on for a month up until December, almost into Christmas. And it's quite well known, and we get thousands of people coming to it. And the castle all outside is lit up with different themes and stories going on. and it's different every year. Yeah, and so this winter will be the 10th anniversary, and it's going to be very spectacular.
Would you kindly share a message for visitors from Japan, please?
Well, we'd love to welcome you here, and it would be a joy for us to meet more Japanese people at Sudley, and I can promise them that they will, if they're interested in English history, they will be pleased that they came to Sudley, and gardens and in a family home, and we're just real people who live in this house, and I enjoy meeting people quite often. And we've got dogs as well.
Lovely dog. Okay. Thank you so much, Lady Ashcombe, for your time and for your dedication to preserving these extraordinary pieces of history.
Oh, well, thank you for coming, being interested in us. Yes, lovely.
Lovely.